what is a dream backpack? Now, I'm not on about Dream, the big Minecraft YouTuber making merch about backpack. Has he done that? I don't know. I'm on about an inventory of TF2 items that you've always dreamt of having, which I'm pretty sure all of you understood from the start. I've always found this concept really interesting because people's idea of what a dream backpack actually is can be completely different person to person. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and then I want to hear about what kind of things you guys would like in your own dream backpack. And maybe if you're new and you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and also, subscribe. So, a dream backpack. I think this changes a lot depending on what you play TF2 for. I think for a lot of players who kind of just play the game, having a nice couple of cosmetics for the classes you play the most, and maybe some pro kill streak strange weapons for your main class could very potentially be the extent of what you would consider to be in your own dream inventory. Like, you don't want millions of unusuals, you don't want Australians that you're never going to use sitting in your backpack, you don't want a bunch of all of this unnecessary stuff. You literally just want things for the classes you play with and have stuff that you think looks kind of cool for the classes you play. Maybe the most that you will actually want is a decent unusual that you like for your main class, but that is pretty much about it. That is actually kind of closer to what my dream backpack is right now, since I did the whole trading thing and now I just want to keep all of the items I use and get rid of a lot of the clutter that is in that inventory. But I think a lot of regular players who don't really care that much about items, given the chance, would probably choose to have nice versions of the weapons that they use, maybe a nice unusual, maybe not, and some decent cosmetics. If I'm wrong, let me know. Maybe you just don't want any items at all. I have no idea. It changes person to person, like I said. Traders, on the other hand, their idea of a dream backpack would be so much different to that of a regular player who doesn't know too much about items. And even in this trader subcategory, the dream backpack would be completely different from somebody else who is trading. Everybody has different tastes in unusuals, in weapons. Like, you could go for Australians, some people might want unusual war paints instead, some people might not want any of that and just go for regular pro killstreak strangers or whatever. Some people might only want a couple of unusuals, some people might just want to collect as many unusuals as they possibly can because that is the kind of trader they are. This is kind of the category that I used to put myself into when it came to pretty much everything in TF2. I think I shook that kind of image around me now. I don't know though, maybe, hopefully. Like, I'm not a trading YouTuber anymore. I don't think I've been a trading YouTuber for years, but however many years ago it was that I was a trading YouTuber, that is pretty much all I was known for. My dream inventory at one point was definitely to hopefully end up with a double unusual effect set for every single one of the classes, even the ones I didn't play. I wanted all of the Australians, unusual taunts, pro kill streaks, all of that kind of stuff. And if I was even really, really good at trading or good enough at trading, I wanted to get a golden frying pan. Now, that just didn't happen. The only unusual effect set I have for any class is for the scout, and that's because the bonk boy was given to me really, really generously by a viewer on my stream. I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't have been gifted it. So I didn't even do that bit myself, which is kind of crazy considering how much time I put into trading years ago. Now, my inventory right now isn't bad, or even at its peak, it really wasn't bad, but my dream inventory never really came to be, which I'm fine with. My goals changed a lot in my time playing, so my idea of what I really want in my backpack is so drastically different from what it was when I first started. It's like a completely different person has made up their mind about their favorite items. There's a lot of items I really like now that I used to hate back then, and a lot of items I hate now that I really used to like back then. So yeah, it wouldn't help if I just had that dream inventory and I just stuck with it. I think a lot of traders kind of start with the idea to collect maybe a few unusuals and, a couple of Australians or some nice war paints or something like that. And then depending how far they get into trading, their goals just kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger until they want pretty much every item that exists, or just to make a whole bunch of collections that don't really mean anything, doesn't really matter, but is just cool to have. Like Strife with his whole level 100 haunted sets at one point. Like, there was no real need to get level 100 for everything, but he was a really good trader and he wanted to, so he did. And there's absolutely zero problem with that. I think that's sick, having a collection that is a little bit weird, maybe a little bit unorthodox and you wouldn't really think about, but having that because you're trading and, it's something you're into is actually really cool. And I don't think every single trader out there would want to duplicate the same collection that Strife has there, which I really like because, as I said before, it's a completely different idea of what each person's dream is if you ask them what their dream inventory would be. If we were all the same, it would be ridiculously boring. And most hats would just be impossible to get. I remember when I was really into trading, I wanted so many insane collections of items that I would have needed multiple accounts to store all that extra stuff in, which isn't viable really at all, because then what's the point? I don't get to play with it all the time. I'm super interested to see what people think their own dream inventory looks like. Sort of like my what 100k looks like in TF2 video I made a while ago. What kind of things would you love to see when loading TF2 and looking at your inventory? Please let me know. Like, I even think there's going to be people out there that want literally nothing in their backpack. Like, their dream backpack is just completely empty. Excuse the voice break, but I'm leaving that in. But it kind of goes with the point of everybody's dream is different, and that's so cool to me. I really like that, because everybody's unique. Everybody's favorite stuff is completely different, and I just find that really interesting. Does that make me a loser? Maybe. Do I really care at this point? Absolutely not. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Also, if you're new, make sure you leave this video a like and also subscribe as well. It would mean a lot to me, and I will see you all next time with another one. Goodbye.